हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
Hare Krishna. Just wait for 2 minutes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu ji, Danda Pranam.
Who is this?
Arohi.
Our new student?
Yes.
Oh, Hari Bol.
She's sitting with me, your lordship. Yeah.
Oh,
Prabhu ji.
really? Which class you are in?
She's doctor.
Which class?
Third.
Fourth. She has gone in fourth standard.
Standard. Very good.
Yeah.
And we are reading 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita with us today. 5th chapter.
Yes.
Very
Sixth
good.
chapter. You are about to complete 5th chapter.
So we'll start.
She was there in the last yatra. At
Omagyantimirandasya Gyananjana Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Tirtha Shri Guru Vaishnavascha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhansya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Saptakanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavneshwari Vishwanuste Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyacha Vipasindubhya cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. We complete the remaining chapters, the remaining portion of chapter 5. How much was it covered? 5 points?
14.
Any idea? 5.14. Okay, so let's start from 5.15 till 29. Please repeat after me the verses starting from 5.15. This was incomplete. So we'll complete today. So please repeat after me. Chapter 5, Shlok number 15. Nadate kasyachit papam nachaiva sukritam vibhuho ajnanena avritam jnanam tena muhyanti chantavaha ज्ञानेन तु तज्ज्ञानम् येषां नाशितमात्मनः तेषामादित्यवत् ज्ञानम् प्रकाशयति तत्परम् तद्बुद्धयस्तदात्मानः तन्निष्ठा तत्परायणः गच्छन्ति पुनरावृत्तिम् ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषा विद्या विनय संपन्ने ब्राह्मणे गविहस्तिनि नीचैव स्वपाके च पंडिता समदर्शिनः इह एव तैर्जितः इह एव तैर्जितः सर्गो येषां साम्ये स्थितं मनः निर्दोषं हि समं ब्रह्म तस्मात् ब्रह्मणि ते स्थितः न प्रहृष्येत् प्रियं प्राप्य न उद्विचेत् प्राप्य च प्रियम् स्थिरबुद्धिरसमूढो ब्रह्मविद् ब्रह्मणि स्थितः बाह्यस्पर्शेत् स्वतप्तात्मा विन्दति आत्मनि यत् सुखम् स ब्रह्मयोगयुक्तात्मा सुखम् अक्षयमश्नुते यही संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुःखयोनेय एव ते आद्यन्तवन्त कौन्तेय न तेषु रमते बुधा शक्नोति हैव यशोढुम् प्राक्शरीर विमोक्षणा कामक्रोधोद्भवं वेगम् स युक्तः स सुखी नरः लभन्ते ब्रह्मनिर्वाणम् विषय क्षीणकल्मषा Sorry, we left one verse. Yonta sukhanta arama tatanta jyotirevaya sayogi brahma nirmanam brahma bhuto digacchati labante brahma nirvanam vishaya shina kalmasha छिन्नद्वैधायतात्मानः सर्वभूतहिते रताः कामक्रोधविमुक्तानां यतीनां यतचेतसाम् तदितो ब्रह्मनिर्वाणम् वर्तते विदितात्मना स्पर्शन् कृत्वा बहिर्बाह्याम् चक्षुर्चैवान्तरे भ्रुवोः प्राणापानो समो कृत्वा नासाभ्यन्तरचारिणो यतीन्द्रियमनोबुद्धिर्मुनिर्मोक्षपरायणः विगतेच्छा भयक्रोध य सदा मुक्त एव सः भोक्तारां यज्ञतपसाम् सर्वलोकमहेश्वरम् दृढं सर्वभूतानां ज्ञात्वा मां शान्तिमृच्छति Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Turn on this AC also. That AC is on. Not on. Turn on that. So we are on chapter 5. Something or other in this world. So if the AC needed, we can start on that last fan. Both the it's fine, right? So this 5th chapter, which we are in, it starts with Arjuna asking about two things: sannyas and then nishkam karma yoga. Sannyas is Gyan yoga, because in Gyan yoga you need to have sannyas, which is the most practical thing to do in the Kali Yuga is Bhakti yoga, right? Gyan yoga is not possible because Gyan yoga starts with taking a sannyas life. Gyan yoga starts with the sannyas ashram, and then nishkam, and then last is mystic yoga, eightfold process. For that also, one cannot stay at home. One has to go out and practice in the jungle. So now this 5th chapter is starting with sannyasam karmanam krishna punar yogam cha sansaya. So here jnana yoga and nishkam karma yoga. About both is asking. And Krishna says in both are same. Why? Because the ultimate goal is the one. And then in the 6th verse, he says that sannyaasastu mahabaho dukkham aptum ayogataha. Yoga yukta munir brahma na chirinadi gachati. So yoga yukta, so one who is yukta means involved in nishkam karma yoga. Yoga here is nishkam karma. So one who is involved in nishkam karma yoga, na chirinadi gachati, he immediately achieves the result, supreme, right? Sannyaasastu mahabhava. But this jnana yogi, dukkha aptuma yogataha. It is very difficult to perform. It gives a lot of dukkha. Ayogataha. If it is not accompanied or before that, one has not done the nishkam karma. Right? If somebody has not done the nishkam karma, then directly takes to sannyas life. Why? Nishkam karma yoga purifies. Therefore, if nishkam karma yoga is performed and then when one takes sannyas, that's okay. Right? So sannyas is to mahabhava dukkha mahaptum ayogata. Maybe sannyas, jnana yoga without getting purified, it's a gives misery on. Why? Because one then has to fall down. Right? But yoga yukta munir brahma, one who is engaged in nishkam karma, even if he may be have purified, even he is a jnana yogi. right? Even if a jnana yogi engages in karma yoga, nishkam karma yoga, there is no harm. Achirena gachati. He achieves the goal immediately. Why? Because even in the while performing jnana yoga, if he is absorbed in nishkam karma yoga, if there is some disturbances, some obstacle, he will immediately get purified because of nishkam karma, right? And he achieves the goal. योग युक्त विशुद्धात्मा विजितात्मा जितेन्द्रिय सर्वभूतात्मा भूतात्मा कुर्वन् अपि न लिप्यते कुर्वन् अपि न लिप्यते. So even if he is engaged, right, kurvan api na lipyate, he does not get binded, and on the top he becomes sarva bhut atma bhut atma. That atma, that person, he becomes sarva bhut, sarva bhutana. Sarva bhut means all living entities. Sarva bhutana, sarva bhut atma bhut. Atma bhut is like oneself is very dear to one, right? One's own self is very dear. So atma bhut. So sarva bhutana atma bhut, self. Who? That atma. That self becomes for all living entity like the self is very dear, because oneself is very dear. Our own self is very dear, right? There's no one more dear than ourself, right? So that person who is engaged in Nishkam Karma Yoga and purified becomes very dear to everyone. Naiva kinchit karoti sa yukta manye tatastasi. Pasyan, sprushyan. So while smelling, all these activities that are happening by the senses, he thinks that it's not me who is doing it. It's just happening. But the senses are involved in sense object. I am a soul. I have nothing to do with it. It's only the senses are involved with the sense object. Indriyani indriya artheshu vartante iti dhareyan. तो वो क्या धार के बैठा हुआ है? What he is considering? क्या धार के बैठा हुआ है? What he has taken, understood. What he is understanding. What is his understanding? क्या धार कर? ध्यान. उसकी धारणा क्या है? What he has taken into consideration. That while doing all this activity, it's only the senses engaging with the sense object. Then 10th, ब्रह्मणि आदाय कर्माणि संगम त्यक्ता करोति या लिप्यते न स पापेन पद्म पत्रमिवाम्बशा. Just like the leaf, lotus leaf, is not connected with the water, right? Is unaffected, is untouched by the water. Similarly, Brahmani Adaya Karmani, when somebody offers everything to Brahman or the Supreme God, if it's a devotee, he offers everything to Krishna. So, or if he's practicing yogi, then he offers it to Brahman. So, Brahmani Adaya Karmani, when he offers everything to the Brahman, it's Sangam Tyakta Karotiya, one who does without Sangam, that is attachment. Right? Whatever is done, he does without attachment. Sangam Tyakta Karotiya. Liptate nasa papena, he does not get binded. Liptate, he does not get binded by the sinful actions. Kayena manasa buddhya kevalerindriyerapi. Yogina karma kurvanti sangam takta atma shuddhaye. So that person, he just acts for what? For getting purified. Atma shuddhaye. For that, what he is doing? Kayena manasa buddhya. Kayena, by his body, mind and intelligence. Kevalerindriyerapi. Only to get purified. He acts. Yogina karma kurvanti. So he performs the activity. For what purpose? And how? Sangam tyakta. Without attachment. For what purpose? Atma shuddhaye. For getting purified. On the other hand, yukta karma phala tyakta shanta. And then yukta, that same person who is yukta, who is engaged in Ishram karma yoga, karma phalam tyakta. Tyakta, giving up, shantim apnoti naistikim. He achieves shanti. Shanti means liberation. Right? Shanti or peace. He attains peace. Right? Peace, shantim apnoti naistikim. Ayukta, one who is not engaged. Ayukta kama karyena, because of his desires. Right? Kama karyena pale shaktoni baddhate. He gets phala is get attached, sabda. I want phala. So in the desire for the phala result, nibadyate, and that binds him. He gets binded. Clear? Sarva karmani manasa sanyasya aste sukham vashi navadvare pure devi naiva kurvanna karyan. Forget about when get liberated, even in this body. Navadvare pure devi, in this situated in this body, in this world only, in this body, when that person is situated, sarva karmani manasa sanyasya aste. If he gives up while performing sarva karmani, sanya, in a detached way. Sukham vashi, he remains comfortable even in this body. Comfortable where? Navadvare pure devi, even in this body. If he is performing such sarva karmani, by the mind he gives up all the attachment to the sense, like result of his activity, the doership mentality. When he does that, he remains comfortable even in this body. Sukham vashi navadvare pure. Naiva kurvanna karya. He does not do anything, right? Neva Purvan is not doing, nor he makes another to do anything, nor he becomes the cause of others to do something, right? Because he knows he is not doing at all. He thinks that senses are acting in sense of that. No, it's not. And whatever he's doing is Brahmani Ada, he's offering it to the Lord, right? So when it comes to the devotees, he's just doing for the pleasure of the Lord. Nothing he does for himself. We understand that he is not doing the work, nor he is causing others to do the work.
Prabhuji,
Huh?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, yes.
This the second part that not he's not causing others to do the work. उसका थोड़ा detail में explain करेंगे.
That's interesting.
हाँ.
Naiva kurvanna karyan, neither working nor causing work to be done, right? Uh, So when he is not acting, nor he is causing others to do the work, means he thinks that by him, he's not like he has to do something. Like when he has to do means he is now giving the punishment or he is making others to do something, then other has to act. So he does not consider that because of him, this thing has happened. Right? I have become the cause for another person to do certain things. One thing is I am doing it. Another thing is considering that I have become the reason for that person. Because of me, Yudhishthir Maharaj is thinking, because of me, these people have to go through all this thing.
Okay.
You know? In that
Got
way.
it.
Then 14th verse, na kartutvam na karmani lokasya sajati prabhu na karma phalam sanyogam swabhavastu pravartate. Swabhavastu pravartate. Then who is the doer? If not Jiva, if Jiva is not considering himself to be the doer, then who is doing it? Either it will be Supreme Lord who is instigating, but a Lord is equal, right? He is happy. Na kartutvam, na karmani, lokasya sajati prabhu. So, na kartutvam, he does not do. The embodied spirit, master of the city, he does not create activities, nor does he induce people to the act, nor does he create the fruits of action. All this is enacted by the modes of material nature. If not Jiva, then who is the doer? So, Lord says, Svabhavas to pravartate. Now, what Sabhav? Who's Sabhav? So, here it is a material nature, right? Sabhav, the modes of the material nature. So, what happens? In Prakriti, we see that because in the Prakriti, because of our beginningless time, because of the beginningless time. When it happened? Don't know, it's beginningless. Since beginningless time, some activity performed, desire, I want to do this, I want to do this, right? Because of that, what happened? We performed activity based on desire, I want to do it, I want to enjoy it, I want to do it. Because of that, some activities were performed. And those activities with such desire will either be bad or good, right? Because of that, one gets binded. Because of that, one gets the body. With that body, again, person performs, and in that way, goes on. Since time immemorial. When it started, beginningless, right? And that's how we are here in this world. Because of that beginningless karma. That Swabhavastu, that is making one do it. That's how it's done. Huh? In the between, anytime it can change. Anytime it can change. When, how? Person, when he comes to understanding. By performing Nishkam Karma Yoga, he gets the knowledge. Knowledge of what? I am the spirit soul. Right? And this is the body. And whatever things are happening in this body is the senses interacting with the sense object. I am not the doer, nor am I causing others to do the things. Svabhavastu pravartate. It's the Swabhav, that beginningless time by which the things are happening. Right? 14th. I think this is covered last time.
But Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Yes. Yes.
But this material nature or three modes is acting through us only, na, through our body only. It's acting through our
Yes.
body.
Over. Yes. So this 14th verse, should we go in detail or was it covered? 15. Okay. So since question has come, maybe we'll read the purport. The living entity, as will be explained in the 7th chapter, is one of the energies of the nature of the or natures of the Supreme Lord, but is distinct from the matter, which is another nature called the inferior nature. So Lord has two nature, superior and inferior, right? So the living entity is the superior nature, right? Distinct which from the matter, which is another nature called inferior of the Lord. However, the superior nature, the living entity, has been in contact with the material nature since time immemorial. So the living entity, superior nature, we are of the Shakti of the Lord, but superior, are in contact with the material nature. Since when? Since time immemorial. Right? The temporary body or the material dwelling place which he obtains is the cause of the varieties of activities and their resultant reactions. Living in such a conditional atmosphere, one suffers the result of the activity of the body by identifying himself in ignorance with the body. It is the ignorance acquired from the time immemorial that is the cause of the bodily suffering and distress. Right? Since time immemorial, since beginningless time, this thing has happened, has come. As soon as the living entity becomes aloof from the activities of the body, he becomes free from the reactions as well. As long as he is in the city of the body, he appears to be the master of it. But actually, he is neither his proprietor nor controller of its actions and reactions. He's simply in the midst of the material ocean, struggling for existence. The waves of the oceans are tossing him, and he has no control over them. His best solution is to get out of the water by transcendental Krishna consciousness. That alone will save him from all turmoil. So, Krishna consciousness here is mentioned, but somebody who is performing Nishkam Karma Yoga, when he gets the knowledge that I am aloof from this. Right? It's the Prakriti from the I am aloof, I am the spirit soul. I am aloof from everything, all the activities that are happening, right? Is happening, right? Since time immemorial. By what? Happening by what? By our own signs, ignorance. Because of ignorance, we are performing those activities. And that ignorance is since time immemorial, right? Now, with the knowledge that has been gained by performing Nishkam Karma Yoga and detached away, the knowledge comes. And that knowledge is this knowledge that it's not me who actually I'm doing, right? And anything that he does with a detachment, with a controlled senses, with a detached mood, without considering himself as a doership, because as soon as he thinks that I am the doer, I did the thing, immediately the result, the reaction comes. You know? Okay, so till 14th cover. Now we'll cover from 15 till 29 today.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
is Nishkam Karma Yoga different from Bhakti Yoga?
Oh, Nishkam Karma Yoga is different from Bhakti Yoga. Okay. So, as per the Prabhupada, he considers this Nishkam Karma Yoga, which is described in the 2nd chapter, verse number 39, 2.39, wherein he says that Yesham Tabita Sanke Buddhi Yogam to Imam Sunu. Till now, I have spoken to you about this in Sankhya Yoga. Means the differentiation of a body and a soul, that is Sankhya Yoga. I have explained to you. Now hear about Buddhi Yoga. Buddhi Yogam tu imam shuno. So that Buddhi Yoga is Nishkam Karma Yoga. Right? The Prabhupada considers it as a Bhakti Yoga. So Bhakti Yoga and Nishkam Karma Yoga are same as per the Krishna, in the sense one who does Nishkam, without any desire. But which desire? But then without desire one cannot live. So then his desire only remains everything for the pleasure of Krishna. With that mindset, somebody does. Right? So Prabhupada considered that Nishkam Karma Yoga means that person is doing for the pleasure of Krishna. So that is Bhakti Yoga. But in Nishkam Karma Yoga, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he differentiates few shloka as Nishkam Karma Yoga and some Bhakti Yoga. So Bhakti Yoga he considers when they are beyond the gunas. Right? If you see 29, 2.39, Niya Abhikramanashosti Vyavasayati Prabhude Eke Kurunandana Bahu Shakha Yanantascha. So these are all Bhakti Yoga. Bahu Shakha Yanantascha. Eke Kurunandana. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that Vyavasayatmika Buddhi Eka Iha Kurunandana. So only in Bhakti Yoga, focus is one. Eka Iha Kurunandana. Focus is only one. What is that? Krishna. Pleasure of Krishna. But in other, there are different, like Jnana Yoga. In Jnana Yoga, person performs first Nishkam Karma Yoga. He gets purified. Then he leaves activity. And then he focuses on meditation on soul. Then he leaves that when he has realized the soul. Then he leaves that. Then he takes the shelter of a devotee. And then he gains the knowledge of the Paramatma from that devotee and also of the Lord. Right? Then he takes to eightfold process wherein he meditates on Paramatma. Then, after many births, Bhaunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan, that Jnani, Mam Prapadyante, he takes shelter of Krishna. So you see how many Bahu Shakha Anantasya. Even such a person who was first into Jnani, then Jnani has to leave the work, then get into Ashtanga Yoga, then he has to leave them and then come to Bhakti Yoga. Then that goal becomes one. But one who takes to Bhakti Yoga, his goal is only one. So this verse, Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, actually applies to Bhakti Yoga. Right? Not to the Nishkam Karma Yoga, as per Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So he segregates. But Prabhupada says this applies to, this is Bhakti Yoga. Because he says Jnana Yoga, Nishkam Karma Yoga. He does not say Nishkam Karma is Bhakti Yoga. He considers all these things were Bhakti Yoga only. Right? But Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he says, this is for Bhakti Yoga, but not other verses.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, there is one Vipassana for they perform the meditation for 10 days. Even I have performed twice before I came here. Whether it is categorized as a Bhakti Yoga, this Jnana Yoga, Vipassana for 10 days.
Vipassana for 10 days. Good question. For Jnana Yogi, the criteria is before taking Jnana Yogi, one has to perform the Nishkam Karma Yogi. Get purified the mind. Mind has to be purified. Then one can focus on the Jnana Yoga. And what is that Jnana? Not any knowledge. Knowledge of impersonal liberation. Knowledge of impersonal liberation. I don't know Vipassana meditation, what they do. They do it for 10 days. Right? So 10 days, they may give you sannyas, not going anywhere. But then the sannyasi also is roaming around. Right? He's not like paying the fees and staying there for 10 days and then. So this is just one course, one organization which provides some 10 days ka course. But in that, they say you remain up, aloof from your mobile, anything, like nothing to do with your family and all. So that's a temporary situation. But it's like a depicting kind of a jnani, In that, I don't know whether they teach about impersonal Brahman. Don't know what happens in detail, right? But that setup is such, you see, you leave aside everything from the mind and focus, absorb fully into impersonalism. Study of that scriptures which are focusing on impersonalism. Correct?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yes. So, So Nishkam Karma Yoga is, what was the question?
Same as
Nishkam Karma. Oh, yeah. So as per Prabhupada, he takes that as a, but Nishkam Yoga, Karma Yoga is the first step. After that comes the Jnana Yoga, right? When one is purified, then one takes the Jnana Yoga. In that Jnana Yoga, one has to leave the world. No job. One has to take which ashram? In Jnana Yoga, one has to take which ashram? Enter into Sannyas ashram.
Sanyasashram.
So one has to become a sannyasi, right? And focus on impersonalism. Study on impersonalism. Then, after getting purified, after realizing the soul, then one takes into Ashtanga Yoga. After realizing that soul is not yet liberated. No, after realizing he is a soul, he is situated in transcendence, but he's not liberated. Just having mere knowledge that I'm a spirit soul and meditating on that spirit soul, one does not get liberation. Liberation comes only when one realizes Lord in the form of Paramatma, at least, minimum. If they realize Paramatma, then one is liberated. And that knowledge can only come from whom? Because you meditate Ashtanga Yoga, one can do Dharna, Dhyan, Samadhi, that's one way. But that can lead one to only Atma knowledge. Paramatma knowledge will not come. That can come when one performs bhakti. Bhakta, bhaktya, ekagraya. Only bhakta mam. By bhakti only. Eka. Only by bhakti can one know me. Krishna says, only by bhakti one can know me. So Paramatma, the Supreme Lord, right? He can only be known by bhakti. Therefore, taking shelter of devotee becomes necessary, right? Therefore, Upanishad, Upa, sit besides, and then Nishad, right? So even a Jnani, who at the end, see his impersonalism, but then he has to sit, and then when he sits below, besides the spiritual master, and he explains him about the Paramatma realization, then he will come to me. And then one gets liberated after realization of Paramatma. And when one is a devotee, of course, taking training under a devotee, another devotee, so he will directly know about Krishna, higher than Paramatma, right? And then he understands that Krishna is same Paramatma as a multifarious expansions everywhere. So that is Paramatma, and his effulgence is Brahma Jyoti. That way he understands everything. Of course, he's not purified, so he performs bhakti only to get purified. Bhakti is the means. Sadhana is bhakti. Sadhya, what is to be achieved is only bhakti only, service to the Lord. So one only in that. But in other cases, there are so many things. Even a Gyan Yogi has to perform bhakti yoga. A Gyan Yogi has to perform bhakti yoga. Otherwise, how he will realize Paramatma? He has to perform bhakti yoga. Right? Ashtanga Yogi has to perform bhakti yoga also. Right?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes. Yes.
Prabhuji, even for getting liberation, there has to be a desire to get liberation.
Oh, without that, nobody will go to the path of transcendence. Transcendence, right? Transcendence means Brahma Jyoti or Paramatma or Bhagwan realization. So their goal should be something supreme, right? Dharma, Artha, Kama, and then Moksha. Finally, person may desire about Moksha. So Moksha means nothing of this world, material, something spiritual, right? Of course, Bhakti Yogi is not even behind Moksha, right? Because somebody who is desiring Moksha is also under Sattva Guna, right? Anything desiring for oneself, Moksha, or want to go back to Godhead by performing Bhakti. So that is not a pure Bhakti. That is also Bhakti in the mode of goodness, desiring to go somewhere. It's a desire, right? But a bhakti, pure bhakti means anya abhilashita shunyam. Only desire is to please Krishna. Krishna anushilanam, service to Krishna. Bhakti rubuttam, so the shilanam, service to Krishna. So that is the pure. So no other desire than to please Krishna. That is pure bhakti. Apart from that, somebody may liberation and realization of the Atma, because knowledge is not complete. So then such people, they achieve that step because they don't even know Krishna. Their knowledge is limited to understanding of the soul or maybe to the Paramatma, right? So for liberation, at least Paramatma realization is needed. Make that sense?
Hare Krishna, yes, Prabhuji. But desire to serve Krishna in Goloka is also a desire. That is also service, desire to serve.
But why you want to go to Goloka? Krishna does not want you to send. I want to serve only in Goloka. It's like, you see, Prabhupada, when he went to US, he could have said that I am anyhow serving my spiritual master. I am not spiritual master. Spiritual master told him to go to the West, right? So he was there in Vrindavan, but why he desired to go to the US and serve there, fulfill the order of his spiritual master?
Okay, right, Prabhuji.
Right? Whatever Krishna wants, whatever Guru wants. See, Krishna wants means how the Krishna will express. Krishna is a Chaitya Guru. The external, he comes as a Guru and he informs us. This is expected. Therefore, following.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Prabhuji, one doubt.
Yeah.
You said for Jnana Yogi you have to take a sannyas, right? Jnana
Yes.
Yogi. But since we are studying this all scriptures, so can we are not in the category of Jnana Yogi?
No. These scriptures are not. These are bhakti scriptures. Jnani scriptures are that which leads to the conclusion of uh, impersonal knowledge. Right?
Okay.
So scriptures 90% is filled with karma kan. Right? Remaining after that few portion is remaining is taught it's filled with impersonalism. And very few deals with bhakti. Right? So therefore, for bhakti yogis, scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrit, Narada Pancharatri ki Vidhi, these are all recommended. Yavan Artha Udapane, right? That shlok came previously. One takes to whatever one has adhikar. If like just like in the lake fills, if somebody needs water, then if somebody has got a lake, then his need for the water, glass full of water is already served, right? So similarly, these Vedas are filled with karma kand, for impersonalism, bhakti, shastras and all. So one takes only that portion for which one is dealing with. So somebody who is into the path of pure devotional service, he just goes through those part which will satisfy or purify or give that. So that is not a jnani scriptures. It's like a bhakti. Any questions?
Prabhuji, you said about service. So,
Mhm.
service to the Lord in any form, na? At home, you can do to your own deities, not necessarily service in the temple.
Obviously, yeah. Service means that it pleases Lord. Pleasing Lord means serving Lord. You want to please Lord, right? The service is to please Lord, right? So how is the Lord pleased? If somebody is staying at home and worshipping the deity, Lord is pleased, right? And if somebody who stays at home and thinks that, I don't need to go to temple. Why? Because I'm serving at home. Why should I go to the temple? I will stay at home only. Does our spiritual master say like that? No need to come to the temple anytime, not even once a week. Stay at home only and practice devotional service. No need to associate with the devotees because the deities are there at the home also. Does our spiritual master say like this? No. Come to the temple for what? Associate.
Association.
Associate. Associate by coming together. Associate means what? Coming together and hearing, serving. So that serving can be deity worship. That serving can be crowd care. That serving can be shoe stall. That service can be cooking. It can be worship also. If somebody says that, is it necessary to come to the temple and worship? No. Home also one can do. But somebody takes that and says that I am not coming because I am worshipping at home and does not come only, does not associate. That is a problem. That is a problem. If somebody is staying close by to the temple, and we have a deities here, we need pujaris, 6 times offer bhoga, do this, that. We have less devotees. Here in temple, we have enough devotees. We have to tell them, don't come. We have enough. Suppose in a scenario where temple is there and there are no devotees, and somebody who is staying close by and says, no, I have to worship my deities, or I want to keep deities at home. And the devotees, they mentioned that if you have deities at home, you will be busy in worshipping that. Come to the temple and serve. That is the need of the hour. And that person says, no, I need my own deities. I want to do. And that is like a problem. So therefore, instructor, guide, spiritual master, who is like a spiritual master, is needed to guide us. Because sometimes because of our own desires and attachment, which is separate from what Krishna desires. Our attachment, I want to do my deities at my home only. Action may be same, worshipping, but my deity, my home. So that is attachment.
Yes,
So
Prabhuji.
devotees desiring to go back to Godhead, it's not a impure desire, right? Why they want to go back to Godhead? Because in this world, it's a gunatmak. It's a maya. Daivi esha gunamai, mama maya duratya. It's difficult to conquer maya. Only one who takes shelter of maya can go beyond this. So devotees, they know. Therefore, they want to be like, don't take any risk. Bhai, abhi bahar hi nikal jao, jahan jane ka wapas. Once you go back to Godhead, no one comes back, right? There's no falling down. So they want to be the safe. They want to be in the association of devotees. No coming back, done and dusted. So with that desire, they want to. It's not like I want that. Kya lega tu? You want to? So for going there, I have to worship Krishna. Okay, Krishna, what is to be done? अच्छा नाम जप करना कितना 16 ठीक है मिलेगा ना? Oh, that is not the case. It will happen in that way. But it is like Krishna means I have to serve you. That's my goal. And after going there, what I have to do? I have to serve you. So whatever pleases you. So if you want me to be here or in the hell eternally, I'm ready. But please engage me in your service. Even in the hell, engage me in your service. Because that engagement itself is a liberation. Itself is a spiritual thing. You are in the spiritual world only in one sense. Right? So when devotees are saying, whatever Krishna, heaven or hell, it does not matter. But engage me in your service. And that engagement connection is actually liberation. Right? And if somebody is saying that, okay, Krishna, I want to go there. What? Acha, tumhari bhakti karna hai. Okay, I'll do that. See, that is like mentality is different. Showing that nothing to do with you. The goal is going there. So that I am freed. No, whatever. But and then, so the devotee He worships Krishna, surrenders to Krishna. And whatever Krishna you desire, I'm ready for whatever, wherever you want to sing. But engage me in your service. Keep me in association of your devotees. Right? And yeah, this world is samsara. Right? It's very binding, gunatmik. So, and spiritual world filled with everybody is absorbed. So I wish to go there, Krishna. Enough of this world. It's enough of forgetting Krishna and samsara to go back. With that spirit, that is fine. Otherwise, why will it's like saying that no, I'm happy, going out, staying outside. I come to temple once a while. And I go with my friends also outside, office. I work in the office. There are many people working on the projects for the company. Fine, yeah, it's okay. That's not okay. Somebody is longing for Krishna's person who long to perform bhakti only throughout. And all this material activity, he will try to curtail slowly and slowly. Just for maintaining the body and the soul, one has to go out and work. Otherwise, why to work? If it is for the sake of pleasure of Krishna, then work. But just for the sake of working, I like coding. You see? Absorbed in coding, where the day goes, logic and all these things. But what is helping? Means what knowledge one is getting by that? By solving that toughest mathematical problem. People get absorbed, scientists get absorbed, right? They are absorbed. There is some kind of happiness in that. So, how it pleases Krishna? They are absorbed in that. Their mind is absorbed in that. Krishna says, Man mana bhava mad bhakto. Think about me. Put your mind on me. You put your intelligence in reading. So, one who reads Bhagavad Gita is worshipping Lord by intelligence. So, intelligence and mind has to apply it on Krishna. But here, this person is applying on something material. As his spiritual master told him that you do PhD by applying the mind intelligence there so that it will help you to preach. As spiritual master ordered, if it has ordered, then that will become bhakti. But it's not ordered, then person just, I like to do it. And he keeps on doing it. If that is his bread and butter, he has to do something. So his nature is that. And he uses that for Krishna's service. Then that is different. Right? But in that also, he just does the bare minimum. Not like, my nature is there, so I get absorbed in that only. No. One has to do activities of pure devotional service also, like hearing, chanting. And anything that we do, it should increase our attachment to Krishna, hearing the topic of Krishna. Any activity, any swadharmic activity that we do, like as per the word, activity that we do, should lead one attachment to hearing and chanting. Now, utpadayad yati ratim, shrama eva hi keval. Otherwise, just a word, shrama. Now, utpadayad yadi ratim. Ratim on the topic of hearing about Krishna. Any other discussion? Okay, we'll move ahead.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hari bol. Yeah, so verse number 15, please repeat after me. Nadate kaschachit papam na chaiva sukritam vibhuhu ajnanena avritam jnanam tena muyyanti jantavaha. Can somebody read translation? What it means, however, na adate kaschatit papam na cheva sukritam vibhuhu. So this word vibhu is important. So vibhuhu here means Supreme Lord. So now the talk about Supreme Lord is being mentioned. So na adate kaschatit papam, na adate does not accept kaschatit papam, the sin. Because if a soul is not involved, soul thinks that I'm not acting, everything is happening by senses, objects, right? I am not the doer. So then who is acting? Who is making? Maybe Krishna. So then Krishna clear, Baba, मैं भी नहीं हूँ. Na adatte, does not accept. Paschakit papam. If somebody is doing the sin, not because of me. Na chaiva sukritam, maybe that pious. है ना, people जैसे बोलते हैं ना, if something good happens, yeah, I did it. Something papa, who was there? So maybe Krishna is telling, no, पाप नहीं मैंने किया, नहीं पुण्य हाँ मैंने लगाया. So he's telling नहीं, न कश्चित् पापम न चैव सुकृतम विभो. Then who is doing it? Ajnanena avrutam jnanam. So by the covering of the knowledge, avrutam jnanam. By what? By ajnan. By ajnanena avrutam jnanam. Tena muyyanti jantava. So all the jantava, all the jantu, all the living entity are bewildered by what? By that ignorance which covers the knowledge. Simple, na? Now, if you want to hear this purport, then see, Prabhupada says, the Sanskrit word Vibhu means the Supreme Lord who is full of unlimited knowledge, riches, strength, fame, beauty, and renunciation. He is always satisfied in himself. See, he does not accept anyone's sins and all. Because why he has to get engaged? I have to make people engage in work. Why he has to do that? He is satisfied. So Prabhupada is making, see, Krishna is happy. He does not want to poke their nose into, अच्छा क्या हुआ, अच्छा उसने क्या किया, अच्छा ऐसा नहीं. I don't think उसने ऐसा करना चाहिए. These people feel happy, na, poking the nose. You see, Krishna has nothing to do with such. He is happy. So that's what Prabhupada is mentioning. He is always satisfied in himself, undisturbed by the sinful or pious activity. He does not create a particular situation for any living entity, but the living entity, bewildered by the ignorance, desires to be put into certain conditions of life, and thereby his chain of action and reaction begins. A living entity is by superior nature full of knowledge. Nevertheless, he is prone to be influenced by the ignorance due to his limited power. The Lord is omnipotent, but the living entity is not. The Lord is Vibhu or omniscient, but the living entity is Anu or atomic. Because he is a living soul, he has the capacity to desire by his free will. Such desire is fulfilled only by the omnipotent Lord, and so when the living entity is bewildered in his desires, the Lord allows him to fulfill those desires, but the Lord is not responsible for the actions and the reactions of a particular situations. Like we say, no, भगवान की मर्जी के बिना एक पत्ता नहीं हिलता. तो इसका मीनिंग जो भी कुछ हो रहा है वो कौन कर रहा है? भगवान ना. Somebody concludes like that, na. The Lord is making clear. Otherwise, then Lord is the controller. We are all like robots. है ना? But Lord says that we are Anu. Lord is Vibhu. He has unlimited power, unlimited desire. We have a limited desire. And because of that limited desire, we have a free will. You see? And limited things to do. And to do that, who gives us the permission and who allows us to, and who gives the situation, creates the situation, allows? Krishna. Because he's all powerful. But he does not micromanage. He creates the situation. So in that sense, उनके मर्जी के बिना एक पत्ता भी नहीं हिलता. Right? But he does not like take away our free will. Our free will always will be there.
Prabhuji, you mean he creates the situation, but in that situation, we have the free will to use our intelligence and mind to what we have to do.
Yes.
Is that so?
Yes. Our free will is never taken away. Just like a person who is drunkard, right? He first goes with his friends and he says, no, I will not drink, I'll come. Then he keeps on going, and then one fine day his friend says that, no, you just take little. So his free will is still there. And then he takes little, then he takes next day 1 glass, another day 2 glass, 3 glass, then he likes it. Then he himself buys it. And then one fine day, then he is longing to go there. So then his free will remains, or his free will has gone away? Still, free will still remains. If he wants, he will not go. But because now he has committed that wrong thing of drinking and he got taste in that, it looks like his free will is lost. He's just doing it out of, he does not want to do, but still he is doing it. It's uncontrolled. So somebody may say that उसके वश में नहीं है, अभी वो अपने वश में नहीं है. बात सही है, लेकिन Always he has a free will. But now he has given up because now he has given to situations. Right? The situation is created. If somebody does that, he'll be like this. He'll be get binded. So this world is created in that way. Somebody gets keep on doing the things, he will become dull and all these things. Then he'll keep on doing. But at all the time, the free will always provides, and Lord always creates us. Lord wants us to come back. Therefore, the Lord comes and has created this dharma, has created the yajna, this yajna, है ना, sa yajna praja srishva purva uvacha pradapati. Along with the living entities, Lord has created yajna and said that by performing the yajna, you will get whatever you wanted, your mind desires, and at the same time you will get purified. The Lord wants us to get purified. It's not like Lord ने system बना दिया, है ना, और ये system में जो भी like dawn का system होता है ना, जो भी अंदर आता है बाहर नहीं निकल सकता, है ना. Some enemies or the dawn people, they create, na, they put it in such a cycle. Once they get inside, they will not be able to come out. Right? So it's not like Lord is creating such system. Lord is creating such a system by which Lord wants us to come back. Right? So anybody who follows that system will easily come back. But somebody who does not follow, they get doomed. So Lord desires us to get free. But then he has created a system. He allows everything. He gives a free will, he has given. Given means what? One owns free will. Because we are part and parcel of Krishna. Krishna is all free. We have limited freedom. But everything happens by Krishna means Krishna. We are under Krishna's system. Nah? Everything happens by Krishna's will. So there are statements which say that without Krishna's nothing happens. But that does not mean that we do not have free will at all. And should never consider. Exactly. Yeah, but Krishna did not create the situation. He created. But then by drinking, one gets hooked to that. One gets taste. One cannot live. Who created that? That is not he created. He desired and he went inside and he got hooked into that. But one gets hooked by doing this. Who created that? It's God. It's not helping him. Therefore, Lord in the form of scriptures advise that follow the principles. Do not drink, do not eat. Right?
So, if he desires to go back and correct his ways, if he desires that,
yes,
clearly,
yes.
So God may definitely will create that situation also.
Yeah, the Lord has checked the Guru inside. He understands the desire that this person wants to come out. Even if he's a drunkard, he is and got hooked. He understood. Yeah, I got hooked. I should not have done it. There I durustha. At least now he got none. Now he's praying to the Lord. Suppose he goes and prays to the Lord. Because see his family members when they come to know. See, by the time he got hooked, they would not have known. Because he will be hiding and going. Once they come to know what they can do, they cannot give the money. They can put him in the another city or another friends or take him somewhere, create the situation, like where he cannot go. But they cannot ask him, give him the determination by which you should not go. That junoon to not go will not be given by the people like us. We can give the association, right? We can create the facility, ambience, like put it in the temple, give him the ambience. But not to go, not to do this, that we cannot. That one has to himself from inside. Yes. Lord can give that. So when it comes to the Lord in the form of scriptures, he can give. He can sharpen our intelligence. He can give us the absorption in the mind by the intelligence. No? The intelligence. By scriptures, he can sharpen our intelligence. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti. He can give buddhi yoga. You see, he can give buddhi. Okay, now do this, internally. Right? Yes. So he can sharpen our intelligence and he can give the absorption in the mind. Right? But the soul's desire, free will remains. Right? People can take care of the bodily aspects. No, they can stop us from going in. They can lock us in the temple. Kind of. Okay? No, this frame, only this frame, you know. So the body can be protected by the outsiders. Krishna can go deeper. Mind and intelligence can sharpen our intelligence, right? Through the scriptures, right? And through the Mahamantra, mind level can be affected, right? But then soul's desire, because for anything to happen, five things are involved, right? In that one is karta. Adhishtanam, tata karta, karanam cha pratak vida. Then daiva, then supreme law, right? So karta's role is there always. Otherwise, the free will not be there. So one has to desire, right? I hope, is that fine? Okay. So I think we cannot read all the verses now. Otherwise, we have to finish, right? So I think this is over. Verse 16, please repeat. Jnanena tu tat jnanam yesham nashitam atmanah yesham adityavat jnanam prakashayati tatparam. Jnanena, by that knowledge, tu tad jnanam. However, when one is enlightened with the knowledge by which nescience is destroyed, then this knowledge reveals everything as the sun lights up everything in the daytime. Obviously, no? When something is lightened up, then the darkness goes away. Then the darkness goes away, right? So similarly, when somebody gains the knowledge, ajnana goes away on its own, isn't it? Actually, is there anything like darkness? If I tell you, show me the darkness, create darkness, what you will do?
Absence of light.
Turn off. You will turn off the light. You cannot create darkness on its own. So similarly, ajnana is what? Actually the absence of knowledge. The sun, Krishna Surya Sama, Maya hoy andhakar, jahan Krishna tar, nahi Maya adhikar. So Krishna is there. So going away from Krishna is the nescience, is a darkness. There's nothing like, because Maya is like a shadow. It is because of whose presence? Person's presence, right? Shadow creates by the person. It's nothing like a shadow, it's because of the person. So this Maya is because of Krishna, right? But then somebody who turns away from the sun, from Krishna, and gets involved in the Maya, right? So when somebody gets the knowledge, jnanena tu tat jnanam, with that knowledge, ajnana automatically grows, just like the tesham adityavat jnanam, just like the sun, when comes, darkness already goes. Pretty clear. Tad buddhaya tadatmanas, tad nishtas tatparayana, gachanti punaravrittim, jnana nirdhuta kalmasha. So jnana nirdhuta kalmasha, with that jnana, when nirdhuta kalmasha, when all the misgivings are clean, all the impurities are clean, then what will happen? Tad buddhaya, tad atmanas, tad nishta, tad parana, tad buddhaya, with that buddhi. Buddhi unto whom? To tat. So tat buddhaya, means tat is here, means who? 15th verse, Vibhu. You're talking about whom? Supreme Lord, Paramatma, right? So tan nishta, so putting one buddhi in what? In that Supreme Lord. Tan atmanas. Atma here means mind, absorbing mind in then him. Tan nishta. And then tat parayana, surrendering, taking shelter of him, right? Gacchantya punaravrittim, then one can go to that, one can become liberated. See, this verse is telling, then he can become liberated. Huh? Only then he can become liberated. He has to apply his mind upon whom? Supreme. Which can be Krishna for devotees and Paramatma for yogis, right? See, Prabhupada mentions here Bhagavad. The supreme transcendental truth is Lord Krishna. The whole Bhagavad Gita centers around the declaration that Krishna is the supreme person of Godhead. That is the version of all Vedic literature. Paratattva means the supreme reality, who is understood by the knowers of the supreme as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. See, the three aspects. Paratattva. Bhagavan or the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the last word of the Absolute. There is nothing more than that. The Lord says, Matta Paratamna Anyat Kinchit Asti Dhananjana. Impersonal Brahman is also supported by Krishna. Brahmano hi Pratishta Aham. Therefore, in all ways, Krishna is the Supreme Lord. One whose mind, intelligence, and faith are refuge are always in Krishna, or in other words, one who is fully in Krishna consciousness is undoubtedly washed, cleansed of all misgiving, and is in perfect knowledge of in everything concerning transcendence. A Krishna conscious person can thoroughly understand that there is duality, simultaneously identity and individuality in Krishna, and equipped with such transcendental knowledge, one can make steady progress in the path of liberation. Verse 18. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Ishwani Chaiva Supake Cha Pandita Samadarshina. A humble sages, by the virtue of a true knowledge, see with equal vision a learned and a gentle Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater. A Krishna conscious person does not make any distinction between the species or the castes. Why species and the caste are mentioned? Because you see here, Brahmana and a dog eater is mentioned.
So everybody has soul.
Yes, but here is a Brahmana and then cow, dog, dog eater, right? So the Brahmana and a dog are in a different species, right? But the Brahmana and a dog eater are in the same species. है ना? है ना? So here a Krishna conscious person does not make any distinction between the species and the caste. Species or the caste. See, Prabhupada neither mention only species nor caste. Mention species or caste. Why? Because four examples are given. है ना? So a Brahmana, he does not see any difference. He does not see any difference means what? Will he embrace the dog eater? Huh? He will not. Right? Like a Brahmana is somebody, he can touch a Brahmana or embrace. But a dog eater? Right? So social, whatever social thing is there, he will not do that. It means he will maintain that. But he understands that there is a soul, there is a Paramatma within. That vision is clear. So therefore, the Brahmana and the outcast may be different from the social point of view. Right? A Brahmana and outcast. A Brahmana and outcast. Dog eater is outcast. So may be different from a social point of view. Or a dog and a cow and an elephant may be different from the point of view of species. Like one who will people keep an elephant at home or a dog at home? You see, right? But the difference of the body are meaningless from the viewpoint of the learned transcendentalist. This is due to his relationship to the Supreme or to the Supreme Lord by his plenary portion as Paramatma is present in everyone's heart. Such an understanding of the Supreme is real knowledge. As far as the bodies are concerned in different caste or species of life, the Lord is equally kind to everyone because he treats every living being as a friend, yet maintains himself as a Paramatma regardless of the circumstances of the living entities. So then another point now. One is the vision of the Brahmana. Suni Chaiva Pandita Samadarshina. Second point is Krishna, Paramatma is kind to everyone. Somebody may be in different species. Krishna is not responsible. That is being mentioned. Krishna is not, he's not partial or impartial. See, here, he's saying that different caste or different, the Lord is equally kind to everyone because he treats every living entity as a friend and yet maintains himself as a Paramatma regardless of the circumstances of the living entity. The Lord as a Paramatma is present both in the outcast and the Brahmana, although the body of Brahmana and of outcast are not the same. The bodies are material production of the different modes of material nature. But the soul and the super soul within the soul are of the same quality, spiritual quality. The similarity in the quality of the soul and the super soul, however, does not make them equal in quantity. For the individual soul is present only in the particular body, whereas Paramatma is present in each and every. You see, quality and quantity. So spirit soul is equal, is dash in quality, in with Supreme Lord. Spirit soul is equal in with Lord in quality or quantity, and different in. Is he exactly equal in quality? Then how do we understand? Is equal means then we say no, is equal in quality. Is he exactly equal? So then how much percentage is equal? How much percent is not equal? Then comes that quality, We consider the Lord Krishna has 64 qualities. Then living entity can have maximum how much? 50. Vishnu Tattva can have how many? 60. Vishnu Tattva. Shiva can have how many? 58. And living entity, Jiva can have how many? 50. In that also Brahmaji has highest, all 50, highest quantity. But still not equal to 64 of Krishna. Can never have. So when we say equal in quality, it's a general statement. Don't take it exactly equal in quality. Right? And quantity ke liye, you see, in quantity, Prabhupada gives example. Lord is there in all the body. See, his vibhu, like his quantity, like is very great. Right? So in that way. The similarity in quality of this soul and the super soul, however, does not make them equal in quantity. For the individual soul is present only in that particular body, whereas Paramatma is present in each and every body. A Krishna conscious person has full knowledge of this, and therefore he is truly learned and has equal vision. The similar characteristics of the soul and the super soul are that they are both conscious, eternal, and blissful. But the difference is that the individual soul is conscious within the limited jurisdiction of the body, whereas the super soul is conscious of all the body. The super soul is present in all the bodies without distinction. Fine. Iha eva jite sargo येषां साम्ये स्थितं मनः निर्दोषं हि समं ब्रह्म तस्मात् ब्रह्मणि ते स्थितः इह एव तेर जितेर दोष सर्गो. Those whose mind are established in the sameness and equanimity have already conquered the conditions of the birth and death. They are flawless like Brahman, and thus they are already situated in Brahman. So nirdosham is samam Brahman, tasmad Brahmani te stitaha. So Brahman means transcendental, right? So one who minds are established in sameness and equanimity. And this is the sameness. Yeah? Lord is equal to everyone, right? When he sees that, and he does not see that there's a partiality that Lord is doing, right? A Lord is the cause for somebody to be born here, somebody to be born as a Brahmana. No, Lord is equal. He's as a Paramatma, he's kind to everyone. He goes with everyone. It's equal, right? And the Pandita sees the same Lord within everyone. Equal vision, right? Body may be different, and that too is because of their conditioning and timeless ignorance, right? So when that vision is clear, then that person is situated in Brahman. So Brahman means does not mean like for a devotee it is he's situated in Krishna consciousness. He's Krishna conscious, right? And for yogi he's situated in Brahman. Somebody in Paramatma realized that way. So Brahmani destitaha nahi prapashyet priyam prapya न उद्विचेत प्राप्य चाप्रियम धीर बुद्धिर असमूढ़ो ब्रह्मवित् ब्रह्मणि स्थितः. So now this verse speaks of the characteristics of a person situated in that Brahman. So translation, a person who neither rejoices upon achieving something pleasant or nor laments upon obtaining something unpleasant, who is self-intelligent, who is unbewildered, and who knows the signs of God is already situated in transcendence. So the characteristics of a person who is entitled as a Brahman, who is situated in Brahman is mentioned. So situated in his body, he does not rejoice nor laments on attaining favorable or unfavorable conditions. Now udvichet na praharshret priyam prapyam na udvitet prapya cha priyam. Sthira buddhir asamudo. And why he is not bewildered? Because he's fixed in Atma. Sthira buddhir asamudo. So he's sthira, his mind is focused on Atma. He's not bewildered by identifying the eternal Atma with the temporary body, asamudo. He realizes the Brahman or the Paramatma with this quality described previously, Brahmavit, right? The person of this quality is said to be situated in Brahman. Next verse. बाह्यस्पर्शे स्वसप्तात्मा विन्दति आत्मनि यत् सुखम् स ब्रह्मयोगयुक्तात्मा सुखम् अक्षयम् अश्नुते. Such a liberated person is not attracted to the material sense pleasure, but is always in the trance, enjoying the pleasure within. In this way, the self-realized person enjoys unlimited happiness, for he concentrates on the Supreme. So this verse, it tells about that a person, after realizing his own Atma, he then realizes the Paramatma. When a person is not attached to experiencing the object of the senses, he realizes his own nature and experiences bliss. He becomes completely absorbed in realization of the Paramatma. That is Buddha. Brahma Yoga Yuktatma. Brahma. Sa Brahma Yoga Yuktatma. Sukham Akshayam Ashnute. So he then, Akshayam Ashnute, he attains indestructible happiness. Right? So he then realizes the Paramatma. So this is what this verse says. When somebody who is unattached to the happiness arising from the sense object, Bahya Sparshesva Asaktatma, is unattached to the Bahya Sparsha, sense object, Vindati Atmani Yat Sukham, and then who attains the happiness of the Atma, what happens? He next becomes fixed in the realization of Paramatma, Sa Brahma Yoga Yuktatma, and then he achieves Sukha, unlimited, Akshayam Ashnute, indestructible happiness. Verse 22. Yehi samsparshja bhoga dukkhayoneya evate adiyantavantatu kaunteya nateshu ramate buddha. So this verse explains that this verse explains that determining the temporary nature of the sense object which manifests according to karma, that person is not attached. So understanding the temporary nature of the sense object. Nature. And understanding the temporary nature of the sense object which manifests according to karma. According to karma, one gets happiness and distress. Person is not attached. Right? Person does not get attached. Why? Because he understands the temporary nature of that. So this verse says that Yehi samsparshaja bhoga dukkha yonaya evate. So any sparshaja, sense perception, right? All the bhoga, whatever enjoyment one gets, it comes by the sparsha. Senses interacting with the sense objects. Sparshaja bhoga dukkha yoneva. It's a womb of dukkha. So in this world, is there any happiness? Somebody says, is there any happiness in this world? Is there any happiness in this world? अरे सुख तो है ना, खाने में गर्लफ्रेंड ने प्रपोज करने पर मान गए, हैप्पीनेस होगी कि नहीं? If somebody agrees, accept proposal, gets the job letter, gets the tasty food, isn't there happiness?
Temporary happiness, Prabhuji.
Temporary happiness, see? Temporary and what? Unending. Temporary and ending. Ending happiness. We want, it's not permanent. Temporary, right? And actually, it gives rise to the, it is a yoni. It gives birth to the dukkha. Why it gives birth to the dukkha? So you see, happiness. Somebody says, what's wrong in getting the happiness? And somebody accepts the proposal. You get married. What's wrong? But then, as soon as one gets that happiness, it gives birth. Yahi samsparshaja bhoga dukkha yoni. Dukkha yoni means it gives a birth to the dukkha. That happiness gives birth to the dukkha means what? Dukkha will come. Dukkha, how it will come? Now that girl has accepted the proposal or that boy has accepted the proposal. Now it's married. So now what will be the dukkha?
Now only dukkha will start.
अरे now दुखा अरे अभी तो जस्ट शादी हुई है, दुख अभी थोड़ी पता है उसके क्या अवगुण है. सो थिंक फ्रॉम पॉजिटिव पॉइंट ऑफ, अभी अवगुण देखा नहीं है, लेकिन दुख कैसे अनुभव होगा कि somebody is embracing, he understands कि this is not going to last longer. This is not going, this happiness is not going to last longer. What I'm getting today, I may not get tomorrow. This happiness. Because that person, because this person from whom I'm getting happiness, what if something happens to that person? Right? And if that person is very beautiful, more qualified than us, in terms of beauty, knowledge, service, what will happen if that person goes away? कोई और पटा लिया, but शादी हो गई, कोई और नहीं, but affair can happen, or whatever my qualities, our gunas come to know, and what, that fear, such kind of expectations and all, so that fear, that temporariness and all these things. So that's how it gives birth. Yeah, somebody saying something?
So it is like,
So
Prabhuji, it is like Shitoshna in second chapter we learned, no?
No, it says that Shita Ushna Sukha Dukkada, what it says is that the matra sparsha, the senses coming with the sense object, in touch with the sense object, is like a sukha and dukkha. The happiness and distress is like a sukha and dukkha. It comes and goes. That verse is telling it comes and goes. Na teshu ramate bhuta. No. So, yehi samsparshaja. That verse, what it says? What was that verse? Matra sparshasthu kaunteya, shita ushna sukha dukkada, agma apaino anitya. It has a beginning. Apaina anitya. It's not eternal. Agma apaina. It comes and goes. Anitya. Tam titiksha. One should tolerate. It is talking about the happiness and destruction, happiness and distress of this world. How it is? It has a starting. It has an end. It is not permanent. It is not permanent. Anitya. It comes and goes. Therefore, Shita Ushna. Now here is talking about the happiness. Whatever happiness is there, it's a birth yoni. It gives birth to the dukkha. So somebody who has not got only the proposal, not got the offer letter only, for him, sukha has not come, right? The dukkha ka baat hi nahi hoga. But somebody who gets the sukha, for him dukkha is coming. That's the point. That sukha of this world is a yoni, is a womb of the dukkha. Along with it. So in this world, there's nothing like happiness in one sense. Apart from Krishna consciousness, happiness in a param drishtva, spiritual happiness, that is eternal, long-lasting. It can satisfy one. But other happiness in this world, so-called happiness, because it's a so-called happiness. So whatever happiness one can think of, it's a yoni. It will give the misery. That's what it is telling. Dukkha yoneva evate. Adi antavanta. And the reason is given. Adi is a start. Antavanta. Right? Same matra sparsha. Adi, Anta. Not unhappiness ends in happiness. No. Unhappiness and happiness are the part of the world. That was Matra Sparsha. Shita Usna Sukha Dukkata. In this word, Shita Usna. So, happiness and misery are the part of this world. And even the happiness which is a part of the world, that is not the permanent happiness. Right? Because it's Adi Antavan. Therefore, na teshu ramante Buddha. Therefore, not dwelling on those happiness in the mind or longing physically, like personally longing for that. One should not. Na teshu ramante Buddha. People know in a dream world, I get a job, I got that girl, that boy, I'll enjoy in this way. In the dream or in in the mind, in imagination. So there's nothing such. And somebody who enjoys gets dukkha, whole time gone. Oh my God, itna time chale gaya. See, the mind enjoyed, but result what? Time has gone. And one gets attached. Dhyayate vishayam sangasteshu attachment. Then in the mind will not give happiness. Now it got gave happiness in the mind. Now person wants to physically engage. Previously in mind he wanted to engage. Now he has to grossly engage. You see? Then again difficulty starts. You see? So that's the verse says. Shaknoti haiva yashodum Praksharira vimokshana Kama krodubhavam vegam Sahayukta sasukhi naraha. So now he should continue to control the agitation at the time it arises until the time he gives up the body. How long he should continue this controlling? So it says that before giving up this present body, if one is able to tolerate the urges of the material senses and check the force of the desire and anger, he is well situated and is happy in this world. If one wants to make a steady progress on the path of self-realization, he must try to control the forces of the material senses. There are forces of the talk, forces of anger, forces of mind, forces of the stomach, forces of the genitals, the forces of the tongue. You know? That nectar of instruction you are done, na? Isn't that verse? Vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam Shiva vegam udarupastha vegam etan vegan yo visheta dhira sarvam apimam prithvim sashishya. Right? So there are urges, all these urges. One who is able to control the forces of these different senses and the mind is called a Goswami or a Swami. Such Goswami live strictly controlled life and forgo altogether the forces of the senses. Material desires, when unsatiated, generate anger, and thus the mind, eyes, and the chest becomes agitated. Therefore, one must practice to control them before one gives up this material body. One who can do this is understood to be self-realized and is thus happy in the state of self-realization. It is the duty of the transcendentalist to try strenuously to control the desire and anger. Yvanta sukho anta aramas Satantar jyoti evaya Sayogi brahma nirvanam Brahma bhuto digacchati. One whose happiness is within, who is active and rejoices within, and whose aim is inward, is actually the perfect mystic. He is liberated in the Supreme and ultimately he attains the Supreme. So this verse explains that by this joy he conquers the disturbance. The Nishkam Karma Yogi experiences happiness through realizing the Atma within and performs spiritually pleasurable activities through that realization, Atma. So Prabhupada's purport says that one whose happiness is within, who is active and rejoices within, and whose aim is inward, is actually the perfect mystic. He is liberated in the Supreme and ultimately attains the Supreme. Unless one is able to relish happiness from within, how can one retire from the external engagement meant for deriving superficial happiness? A liberated person enjoys happiness by factual experience. He can therefore sit silently at any place and enjoy the activities of life from within. Such a liberated person no longer desires external material happiness. This state is called Brahma Bhuta, attaining which one is assured of going back to Godhead, back to home. So one who is relishing, he can sit happily and relish. What about somebody who has not achieved that state? He should give all the happiness. He's not able to. Then what to do? What? But not. But initially, तो fail ही होगा ना. Try. One day automatically will happen. Sincerely. In what? Sincere in what?
Desiring that.
Only desiring. Practicing what? Controlling the senses. How?
निष्काम कर्म है.
See, Nishkam karma. Process is given. Nishkam karma yoga or bhakti yoga.
Bhakti yoga.
Right? For devotees, bhakti yoga. For those who does not know about Krishna, Nishkam karma yoga. Right? And therefore, Lord has created the system of varnashram. Varnashram, so that one who can't practice continuously, can't serve continuously, should engage in some activities as per the varna, as per the ashram. Right? And in a regulated way, enjoy. Enjoy happiness, take, but regulation, regulated. But the goal is to control, not get swayed away by the licenses given. Right? They are the paripanthino, we went through one shloka. Raga, Dvesha, Vimuktestu, that both are they are like thieves on the highway. This one get attached to this sense pleasure, which is in a regulated way given, right? In a regulation. Then they will be a stumbling blocks. So therefore, in a regulated way, when one practices, right, and engages in the process, slowly that person will get rid of the unwanted things. That's all. Verse 25. Labante Brahma Nirvanam Rishaya Shina Kalmasha Chinna Dvaidhayatatmanaha Sarva Bhuta Hite Rataha. Those who are beyond the dualities that arises from the doubts, whose minds are engaged within, who are always busy working for the welfare of all living beings, and who are free from all the sins, achieve liberation in the Supreme. So Prabhupada says that only the person is fully in Krishna consciousness can be said to be engaged in the welfare work for all living entities. When a person is actually in the knowledge that Krishna is the fountain head of everything, then when he acts in that spirit, he acts for everyone. That is the highest. The suffering of the humanity are due to the forgetfulness of Krishna as the supreme enjoyer, the supreme proprietor, and the supreme friend. Therefore, to act to revive this consciousness within the entire human society is the highest welfare work. One cannot be engaged in such first-class welfare work without being liberated in the supreme. A Krishna conscious person has no doubt about the supremacy of Krishna. He has no doubt because he is completely freed from all sins. This is the state of the divine love. A person engaged only in ministering to the physical welfare of the human society cannot actually help anyone. See, here it is mentioned that Sarva Bhuta Hite Rata. So somebody opens hospital, somebody does food for life, somebody does preaching activity, and all the Bhuta Hite Rata. But Prabhupada is making clear Krishna consciousness, giving Krishna, that is the highest. A person engaged only ministering to the physical welfare of the human society cannot actually help anyone. Temporary relief of the external body and the mind is not satisfactory. The real cause of one's difficulties in the hard struggle for the life may be found in one's forgetfulness of his relationship with the Supreme Lord. When a man is fully conscious of his relationship with Krishna, he is actually a liberated soul, although he may be in the material tabernacle. See how Prabhupada's point is clear. Giving Krishna, that is the highest thing. 26. Kama krodha vimuktana yatinam yatachetasa abhito brahma nirvanam vartate vididatmana. Those who are free from the anger and all material desires, who are self-realized, self-disciplined, and constantly endeavoring for perfection, are assured of the liberation in the Supreme in the very near future.
Prabhuji, here the mention liberated in the Supreme in 24th verse also. So can you please clarify liberated in the Supreme means here?
Yeah, 24th, na?
Yes, Prabhuji.
It's liberated in the Supreme and ultimately attains the Supreme. That means he is liberated in the Supreme, means he attains the realization of Paramatma, focus on Paramatma, to be precise. He then attains Paramatma.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Where were we now? Okay. 26. Kama krodha vimuktatma tinam yadaset sam abhito brahma nirvana vartate viditatmana. In the very near future, so once you get kama krodha vimuktana, the one who becomes free from the lust, anger, who are self-realized, disciplined, yatinam yatachetasam, yati, one are self-realized, self-disciplined, and constantly endeavoring for perfection. Ati abhito brahman nirvanam vartante viditatmanam is assured of the liberation in the Supreme, the very pure nature, near future. Who makes endeavor in this way, control the mind, and who have realized the Atma, they attain the Paramatma and liberation in all respects. The point here is they attain the Paramatma and liberation. The Paramatma indeed serves such person. Paramatma in all respects attains upon those persons who endeavor in this way. So basically they realize the Paramatma. Those who are systematically following the Jnana Yoga, they come unto the Nishkam Karma Yoga, they come into Jnana Yoga, then they focus on the Ashtanga Yoga, they realize the Paramatma. Now the verse 27, 28, it will talk about how by performance of Nishkam Karma Yoga, the mind becomes purified. Then when the knowledge of the Atma arises, that is the Jnana, one then intensely focuses on his mind on the realization of Atma, and then by the process of Ashtanga Yoga, he follows the Ashtanga Yoga. That these things are mentioned now from verse number 27 onwards. Please repeat. Sparshan kritva bahirbhayam chakshuschaivantare bhruvo pranapano samo krutva nasabhyantara charino यतेन्द्रिय मनोबुद्धि मुनिर्मोक्षपरायणा विगतेच्छा भय क्रोध यः सदा मुक्त एव सः shutting out all external sense object, keeping the eyes and the vision concentrated between the two eyebrows, suspending the inward and the outward breath within the nostrils, and thus controlling the mind, senses, and intelligence. The transcendentalist aiming at the liberation becomes free from the desire, fear, and anger. One who is always in this state is certainly liberated. So, this stage of Ashtanga Yoga, which is taken up by the Nishkam Karma Yogi after getting purified in the mind, and after getting purified in the mind, then he takes to the Jnana Yoga, the focus on the scriptures, which talks about impersonal liberation. Then, after focusing on the with a steady mind, achieving the knowledge, then person takes shelter of the spiritual master, understands about the Supreme in the form of Paramatma. Then that Jnana Yogi takes to the Ashtanga Yoga, and he realizes the Paramatma picture, right? So this Ashtanga Yoga talks about the focus of what is to be done. So these two verses is just a preliminary. These last three verses are just a preliminary about the sixth chapter, which is totally on Ashtanga Yoga. So that we'll see next time. Of course, we covered, right, initial few sloka. So we'll complete that in the next time when we meet. Sixth chapter, which talks about the Ashtanga Yoga. So these two verses, it talks about focusing the eyes on the eyebrows, and sitting completely dedicated. Bhoktaram yaga tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suridam sarvabhutanam Jnatva mam shanti vrichati. The person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and the demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attain peace from the pangs of the material miseries. So this verse, it explains such a person who is situated in Samadhi, having accomplished a vision of his own Atma, is situated in Samadhi, having accomplished the vision of his own Atma, he becomes liberated by then worshipping the Paramatma. Because liberation comes only after worshipping the Paramatma. So this Paramatma is a maintainer and the ruler of the Yajna and Tapasam, Bhoktaram. Bhoktaram Yaga Tapasam, Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. So he is the enjoyer of all yajnas. He is also the Maheshwaram, Mahaishwar, of all the planets. Maheshwaram, Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. Suridam Sarva Bhutana. At the same time, he is benefactor. Suridam Sarva Bhutana. Just by knowing Jnatva Mam Shanti Mrichati. The conditioned souls within the clutches of Prabhupada, he writes here, it's nice, perfect, we'll go through it. The conditioned soul within the clutches of illusory energy are all anxious to attain peace in the material world, but they do not know the formula for peace, which is explained in this part of the Bhagavad Gita. The greatest peace formula is simply this: Lord Krishna is the beneficiary in all human activities. Man should offer everything to the transcendental service of the Lord, because he is the proprietor of all the planets and the demigods thereon. No one is greater than he. He is greater than the greatest of the demigods. Sarva Loka Maheshwara. You see, the great people like Brahma, Indra, Shiva, right? They are great. So Lord is greater than even them also. That's what is mentioned. He is the greater than the greatest of the demigod, Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. In the Vedas, the Supreme Lord is described Tamishwaranam Paramam Maheshwaram. Under the spell of illusion, living entities are trying to be the lords of all they survey. But actually, they are dominated by the material energy of the Lord. The Lord is the master of material nature, and the conditioned souls are under the stringent rule of the material nature. Unless one understands these bare facts, it is not possible to achieve peace in the world, either individually or collectively. This is the sense of Krishna consciousness. Lord Krishna is the supreme predominator, and all living entities, including the great demigods, are his subordinates. One can attain perfect peace only in complete Krishna consciousness. So this verse in the first para, he explains about this verse. Basically mentions about the Bhoktaram is the enjoyer, right? So any fruits, any activity a person does Nishkam Karma Yoga, he should be detached from the world. Results. Why? Because who is the enjoyer? Krishna, Bhoktaram Yagadvar. Sarva Loka Maheshwara. Okay, but at least it belongs to me. Detached from the result, but something belongs to me, some my family at least, mere bacche, my family, my asset, not any others at least. No, everything belongs to Krishna. No possessions. By Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. My God, then what is the use? Anything I do, everything is taken away. He is the enjoyer. Then what will happen to me? Surita Sarva Bhutana. He is the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities. If somebody understands this, he remains at peace. That's the only thing. He remains at peace. Now, in conclusion of this fifth chapter, Prabhupada says that the fifth chapter is the practical explanation of the Krishna consciousness, generally known as Karma Yoga. So sometimes even Karma Yoga, Nishkam Karma Yoga, or Bhakti Yoga, same thing. Now, how to practically work? That's what. This practical explanation of the Krishna consciousness, generally known as a Karma Yoga. The question of mental speculation question of the mental speculation as to how Karma Yoga can give liberation is answered herewith. To work in Krishna consciousness is to work with the complete knowledge of the Lord as a predominator. Such work is not different from the transcendental knowledge. Direct Krishna consciousness is Bhakti Yoga. See, direct Krishna consciousness, taking directly to Krishna, is Bhakti Yoga. And a Jnana Yoga is a path leading to Bhakti Yoga. Krishna consciousness means to work in full knowledge of one's relationship with the Supreme Absolute, and the perfection of this consciousness is full knowledge of Krishna or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A pure soul is the eternal servant of the God as his fragmental part and parcel. He comes into contact with Maya due to the desire to lord it over Maya, and that is the cause of his many suffering. See how Prabhupada systematically telling. Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, where he fall down, how he can in touch. As long as he is in contact with the matter, he has to execute the work in terms of material necessities. See, as long as he is in contact with the matter, he has to execute work in terms of material necessities because he needs material things. So he has to work, right? So Krishna consciousness, however, brings one into spiritual life even while one is within the jurisdiction of the matter. For it is an arousing of spiritual existence by practice in the material world. The more one is advanced, the more he is freed from the clutches of matter. The Lord is not partial towards anyone. Everything depends upon one's practical performance of duties in Krishna consciousness, which helps one control the senses in every respect and conquer the influence of the desire and anger. So he is not partial. So the verses that we saw today, he says that na adate kaschatit papam, right? He is not responsible for anybody's sin or pious deeds, right? So he's equal. So even that understanding, that knowledge, and one who stands fast in Krishna consciousness, controlling the above mentioned passions, remain factually in the transcendental stage or the Brahma Nirvana. We saw that a Brahma Bhut, that one who Brahmani attains Brahmani is situated in Brahman. Spiritual, is spiritual. The eightfold yoga mysticism is automatically practiced in Krishna consciousness because the ultimate purpose is served. So now this eightfold process which is mentioned herein, which is systematically gone by Nishkam, Karma Yoga, then Jnana Yoga, and then eightfold process, Prabhupada is telling is automatically practiced by Bhakti Yoga, one who performs Bhakti, right? So this process is given. But one who is practicing Bhakti Yoga, the eightfold yoga mysticism is automatically practiced because the ultimate purpose is served. Because ultimate purpose is to know Supreme, right? There's a gradual process of elevation in the practice of yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, pratyahar, dharana, dhyan, samadhi. But this only preface perfection by devotional service, which is alone can award peace to the human beings. It is the highest perfection of life. So even by karma yoga, one may Nishkan karma yoga, one may get purified in the mind, but then one has to get into the scriptures and all, Gyan Yogi, and then Ashtanga Yoga, realize Paramatma, right? So step by step process. The Bhakti Yoga is the direct.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, we cannot see, we cannot hear you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji has exited
We
the
are
group.
seeing, yeah, we got the message that class is finished.
Hmm.